Imagine if you had a magical bag that had everything you needed included in that bag. We've got a group that brings that to the people who need it most. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle Show, highlighting those leaders in our community, really making an impact here and helping people to do what we do to get through to people who you know, how many people in our little planet have had a difficult situation in their life? You haven't lived on this planet until you've had some kind of a challenge. I would agree.
Yeah, yes,
absolutely. Today we have an organization called My Life in a Bag, started by my buddy Bizkitt. His real name is Charles. You can see that over there. And Charles Bizkitt is the CEO and founder of My Life in a Bag Foundation. And you're helping those kids who need a little support.
Yes, sir. We are improving the lives of kids in foster care. And what we do is we start by the way of giving them luggage. They're carrying their stuff in trash bags. And every time they're moving through the system, if it's going through residential care, foster care home, or even just the situation with the kids or going through the homeless situations, everything's in trash bags. And so all their lives are just packed up in there, but there's no dignity, there's no love, it's trash. So we come to them and giving them that hope and that dignity by providing them luggage with the essentials of weeks worth of brand new underwear, socks, toothpaste, all the hygiene products that they can use. And we also give them books, anything that can help them with their reading literacy, because a lot of these kids don't read. They don't even understand their medicine that they're taking. And so we want to encourage them that this is all a part of your everyday life, that you need to know how to read. So sometimes we give them the books that encourage them. Sometimes we give them books that may teach them. We give them stuffed animals. Some kids love weighted blankets, so we do have those things. They like to feel that like they're being hugged on. So
right, okay.
We give them whatever it is that can give them that support and let them know My Life in a Bag loves you and the community supports us, so know that they're supporting you. Okay.
Well, a great cause and something that's definitely needed out there. I know you work with the Covenant House. I've spoken down there to those kids, give a little talk about never give up, believe. I was in a coma, lucky to survive. We talk about that. But Tanya, you decided to jump in here last May as the president of the organization. Tell me what you're enjoying and what you're doing here.
So what I enjoy most is being able to see the faces of the kids when they come and they get luggage. I had the privilege of being in the office one day when a family came with a child, and just to see that child's expression coming out of the smile room with luggage, and it's like, this is mine.
Gives them a sense of ownership, somebody that cares, and they've got somebody that actually said, here's something for you. This is going to help you to get through your daily life and the important things they need. With that, we'll give a shout out to our sponsors, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle, and maybe your castle is inside this bag here. And so if you'd like to donate and help here, we are looking for the leaders in our communities that would like to contribute like that. So with that, you guys have a beautiful website here. It looks like somebody spent quite a bit of time there on your social media, so I put these up on the walls for everybody to take a look at. But and then we've got an example of one of your luggage bags for the kids, and this is packed with all the important things that they need. Charles, what is it that led you here? You've been doing this for 16, 17 years now. Well, how did you get into this?
Well, I was working in the children's residential homes, Mary Grove and Every Child's Hope. Those are the two that I was working with. But how I got started was it was during kind of around the time of 9/11. It's also during the time that let me see, the organization that I was working with, Run DMC. I just wanted to make sure I get it right, because Jam Master Jay had got murdered around that time, after 9/11, kind of that sort of. So everything just went blank. There was no traveling. Run DMC kind of retired. Everything was like, I didn't know what to do. So someone told at the time a person that I knew that, hey, I think he would be great working with these kids. They need a mentor like him. And so I was like, oh, Lord, work with kids. So, but anyway, I stepped into it, and I started with Mary Grove, and that changed my life. Those kids empowered me versus me empowering them. But it started there first for me to understand that these are things I didn't see that they were going through, because there was a whole nother world outside of that wall. I call it the wall. I didn't know what was going on that side of that wall, that these kids were going through traumas and situations where they really needed help. And so as I would be there, I would witness these kids coming to the systems with trash bags. And so I'll be the one that will count out everything, said, okay, you got these many underwear, these many socks, make it on the list, and then be the one that makes them feel comfortable saying, hey, you're going to be okay. We're going to work through your situation. We're going to get you there, and then pack it up, throw it back in the trash bag, take them to their room. And at that time, they wasn't using dressers and stuff, because a lot of the kids at that time were, you know, more active to act out. That means tearing up things, breaking up, and they would use those things as weapons. So believe it or not, well, here's your clothes sitting in the trash bag in a corner, but there's your bed. And that was just not sitting right with me. It just did not feel right. So during the time, I was able to go get the black and white, the black and yellow real sturdy bins. And then I would take that and put it in their room and say, hey, put your clothes in there, which the supervisor proved like, hey, this is sturdy. They can't break that real easy, so it was safe. So then we were able to start moving from there. But then later down the line, when I kept seeing the kids go on home visits, we were putting their stuff back in trash bags to send them on a home visit. And I was like, wow, how is that supposed to make them happy going on a home visit or actually going home? How's that making them happy? So one day, I don't know, cried about it, prayed about it. And that's when the Lord told me, all that luggage you got, you can take that and give it to them. So one day a kid was going home. He was going home. He got reunited with his family, and he had lots of stuff. So just lucky I had luggage, big, tall luggage, everything. I took it and said, here, put your stuff in there. He fell out on the floor and started crying. I didn't know why he was crying. I thought something maybe I said or did. He said, no one's never gave me nothing like this. And he said, will you help me pack? And I was helping him pack. But then I saw something that really changed my life. That kid started having dialogue with me that he never had before. He started expressing how he felt about things. And he started telling me things what he hoped to do in the future, you know. And I was like, wow, this luggage did that? These little items, I did give him a pack of underwear stuff so he felt like he had something new in the bag. That kid to this day continues to contact me. He's a grown adult, and he continues to tell me I changed his life just by that bag.
So yeah, this gives the kids something to feel as if they're kind of having ownership of something,
Yeah.
and somebody that cares for them, they can organize and carry around what they possess and feel like a sense of pride. Tell me some of the impact you've seen here, Tanya.
Just being able to see that these kids are able to have a choice, that they can come and, you know, think about being snatched out of your home, given a few minutes to pack your stuff. You're not going to know everything you need to pack. You're going to grab a picture, you're going to grab, you know, some shoes, a coat, whatever. But being able to see that these kids are in the smile room, they can pick their own luggage. They can pick if they want yellow socks, if they want white socks, a pink toothbrush. It's rewarding.
Yeah, it just seems so many of us take so much for granted that we have
Yes.
everything around that we need and never have to think about. You know, it's like, how many pairs of socks do I have? How many different suits and pants and everything I've got? These kids are lucky, and they have
They
something.
have any, yeah.
Have any, but you've been actually volunteering your time with Charles, with Bizkitt, since it started some 16 years ago or so.
Actually, I started volunteering at the first gala.
At the first gala.
And at that point, I was like, yeah, I want to do this. And so the following year, I got more involved with some of the other events that they were having, and to include the gala. So it just kind of evolved. And then in May of 25, I took the volunteer position as president.
There you go, working the way up to the president position here, everybody. But somebody like you obviously been involved. You knew what it was about. You obviously had dedicated, understood the responsibilities, and you decided this is what you wanted to take on.
Yes, it's just about helping the children. You know, again, as we just said, we take life for granted. We take so many things in life for granted, and sometimes you have to take a step back to realize, you know what, there are some people, kids out here that are less fortunate than we are, and we need to help them.
Yeah, so many kids, if they just get a little bit of a chance, they can then realize somebody does care. Change them. How much of this, and I argue, I'm a big proponent. Like the doctors were telling me I was going to be a victim, I was going to be a vegetable, they were going to take care of me the rest of my life. And I just didn't listen to them. But I had parents right next to me encouraging me, saying, no, you got this, you can overcome this.
Yes.
How much of that is what you spend time helping with, Charles Bizkitt, to tell these kids?
All the time,
Believe in themselves.
especially when I was working in the residential. That was my biggest focus, letting them know. So with me being in executive protection, I would travel, and a lot of times the kids would hate for me to leave because I was the one that kept everything moving. I kept them feeling with hope and happiness because I would provide that level of family feeling that if they saw me as an uncle, I gave them that feeling. They saw me as a father figure, I gave them that feeling. But when I had to travel, it was like, uh-oh, he ain't here. And so I will always let them know I need you to stay your best. And when I come back, I will be able to share with you what I experienced out there. So when I would go to other countries and everything, I will come back and show them videos and stuff of what was going on in other countries and stuff, and the kids loved it. So that gave that open dialogue, that gave that impact, and that gave them, let them know your talent. There was kids I could see that could sing, that could draw, and I used to let them know you can be that next person that will be able to do these things. And, you know, just the world is open to you. But when they got to watch me do certain things in other places, they always opened up their imagination and said, wow, if you were there, I could be there. And that's my way to let them know. Then that means you can get through this situation you're experiencing right now. And then there were times that we did some video things where certain, like there was an interpreter in Japan. They had a program, and they were glad that they connected with me because I was able to connect those kids where they were able to talk to each other through via Skype, and these kids was able to experience that what you're going through, they're going through the same thing, and they're way across the world. So understand this, you're not alone, but you just have to work the program, work whatever it is to get to the next level. But when they got to talk to each other, that changed everything because they felt like, well, I thought it was just me. No,
Right.
everybody's going through it,
You're
know,
not
as far as
alone,
in
yeah.
that system.
Tanya, you've seen the impact here. How's it make you feel to be able to work with these kids to do this?
Amazing. It gives me a sense of worth. Knowing that the programs and the organization is being able to help some kids. Showing them that, again, you do have choices. Your dignity, your pride, and somebody loves you. God loves you, and so do we.
Bizkitt, so you end up making some connections here, and I didn't ask you this, but I'm putting a sense together. Doing some executive security, did that lead you to some connections? I see
Yes.
a children's book we have here on the table. We'll show that to everybody. I'll put this on the screen, see if we can see that. There, I'll go out to the widescreen. But tell me the connection you ended up. This little gentleman here named DMC,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
There, I had to look that up before I
yeah.
interviewed him, but that stands for Daryl McDaniel.
Yes. Mr.
From
McDaniel.
Run DMC.
Yes.
Tell me about that and how this led to what you're doing here with the
Well,
books.
I'm the executive protection for Run DMC, and at the age 35, and this is during the time that I also were around the time with Run DMC, Mr. McDaniels had found out that he was adopted.
Right.
And at that time, when he found that out, he was writing a book, which we didn't know that he was about to commit suicide. We didn't know this at the time. We knew there were some things that was changing with him, but he was just always quiet. Well, all the time, it was him ready to write a book about Durham McDaniels, but he had to call his parents to get some information. And when he made that call, once they hung up the phone, they called him back and let him know that he was adopted. And that really sent everything spiraling. He always felt that something was off. And so during that time, he went through rehab, he went through therapy, some years later, he went through all the things that he needed to do. And he said that's when he realized that, you know what, this Run DMC was a platform for me to be able to touch the kids with my celebrity status, that I'm just like you. I know what you're going through. I know that you feel not everybody loves you and all these things. And so he made that his life now to support the kids in foster care. So he has his own organization called the Felix organization, like Felix the cat. And that's out of New York. And he has also a branch in LA. And they have campgrounds that he brings the kids for 2 weeks at a time from all over the world to this campground for free. And these kids are just, lives are changed because they know that somebody loves them enough that they get to come outside of their state, outside of their country, to a place that is full of love, and they're all feeling the same thing. You're in foster care. You're in foster care. We're all in this together. And he brings other people to the place to come talk to them. I think Mark Wahlberg and just different other celebrities come and support him on that. So as he went through his journey, I was going through my journey. And one day I let him know what I was dealing with and why I was out with him. He would go talk to all these different places, other group homes or schools that he would go talk to worldwide. I was seeing in some of those areas that these kids was carrying their stuff in trash bags. I thought it was a St. Louis thing, but then I saw it was a worldwide problem. So as we spoke about it, he was like, Bizkitt, just do what God tell you to do. And that's when I said, God told me, give that luggage away. And when we started doing that, he became our ambassador, and from there, here's the history. So he ended up creating this children's book. And when he created this children's book, he made sure that he gave me as many as possible to put in the bags for the kids. So those kids, when they opened up that bag, they opened up that book and they say, oh my God, he's just like me. And that's basically what he put in there. He wanted the kids to know that you're not alone in this. And so he ended up creating another book. He had a Christmas book that just came out. And right now, DMC is all about focusing on these kids and supporting us. We are grateful to have someone like that, so especially someone who really understands what these kids are going through and can speak on a celebrity status and to tell them, don't see me as a celebrity. Yes, I got that, but guess what? You're a celebrity too. And that's empowering when to watch him speak and say that to these kids, and it changes their lives. So thanks that he's our ambassador. We couldn't have a great ambassador.
Well said. I've got a speech I gave. I was asked to help watch those super kids, superstars, local celebrity people would walk these kids down, and they asked me to give a speech afterwards, and I said, these are kids that have superpowers, super capabilities, and they are superstars, superheroes, because they have super capabilities, because they've been through so much that the average human can't make it through. With that, we got a little fun we had to partake some of the kids we got to hang out with down at Busch Stadium, a little bit about the community. When we come back, we're going to show you these books. Can we show them the books?
Yeah.
We'll open them up here. A couple from DMC, the one and only who's helping support our group here. Stay tuned, everybody. Hey, everybody. We've got some baseball players in the building here. Who's your guys? All right, first of all, let's talk about who's your guys' favorite player? Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper. Tyler. Last now. Okay, first. Hunter. Why'd you decide to come to see the Cardinals?
Because we're playing a tournament here.
Because you're playing a tournament here. What about you?
They decided to.
They decided to. Why did you decide to come up here? Are you one of the players?
They decided to. He's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy? Okay.
He's a bad boy.
All right, now we got something else going on kind of exciting here. We're going to work on this a little bit. Who's going to throw out the first pitch today? What's your first name?
Wyatt.
Wyatt? All right, Wyatt. Now let's practice this a little bit.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner, to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So the media has changed the way the world revolves. We pick up our book here, Magnetized Media, yours truly, #1 seller on Amazon. I wrote the foreword here, and they even said, Carter, we got to put that picture in there. But this stuff, media has really changed the way you can do things to promote yourself and get the word out. So that's what we're here to do, and we often have sponsored shows where we just, for charities and organizations, where we've got the costs are still costs for whatever we do. They're covered to help the organizations that we want to help get their good message out there. With that, another business question I often answer, but it pertains to charities as well, and that is, give me in your case, the cost analysis. What does this really cost per se, but what is the value provided to these kids? Because they aren't just getting a new roof put on their house, which is being wonderful if they had a house, but these are kids like this is all they own, and so you're increasing the value of their net worth, if you will, on this planet. Incredible, and their self-esteem and everything else that comes along with that.
Well, it takes
it's more valuable than anything.
$250 just to do a bag. Okay, that's the essentials for sure. Let's think about the cost of that, and that's the packs of underwear, socks, and the hygiene products. We want to make sure they get those type of things, pajamas, and
suitcase itself.
Suitcase itself, and then in some cases we do have a situation where if they need shoes, we will provide that. If we wasn't donated, we'll have to go figure that out to make that happen. We try to cover as much as we can, but also partner with other people, such as if someone calls and says, hey, I need diapers. Well, we may not have it, but we have a partnership with a diaper bank. Hey, we need some diapers. Hey, we got this for you, come get it. Or vice versa. They may call us and say, hey, we need some luggage. We got a mom here, she's got stuff, but she got stuff in trash bags. No problem, the luggage is on its way. That's the type of partnership we need with community. It don't matter what it is, we want to partner with you because there is going to be a point where we are going to need each other. And so last year, our focus was 500 kids. We just hit that mark right at the end of last year. But this year, we have to do more because more kids are in the system now. And right now in the state of Missouri alone, there's over 4,000. And so right now, our goal is to serve at least 1,500 kids this year of 2026 and making sure that they get the dignity, love, and all that they need coming from this luggage that lets them know that we got their support, we got their back.
And as DMC, let's pull out a couple of these books here.
Yes.
We've got Daryl McDaniel's. This is called Daryl's Dream. And with that, you can see that looks like DMC right there. If you've ever seen DMC, you can tell he always wears those big cool glasses. He's kind of known for that. And this is one of those books where you get to actually I was looking through this a little earlier. Helps kids to understand kind of the way the world works.
Yeah.
And you can just see Daryl's dream, and we'll go through just some of the pages. But this is literally where they're kind of helping. Is it giving life lessons to kids?
Yeah, well, it's just
See,
letting them
there
know
it is.
about his story and
Young DMC.
and about what he went through, where he was feeling like he was being bullied and stuff like that in school, and how he overcame, by just trusting himself and listening to, his parents, and just overcoming situations to where here he is now, being who he is. And he created this book for Christmas. It's pretty much kind of like part 2, like Daryl McDaniels in Christmas, DMC.
Well,
young
have
DMC.
you hold? There we go.
And it's about how he experienced Christmas, feeling like a foster child and everything. But at this point, he's now in loving and understanding things way much better. So this book is dedicated so kids can enjoy the time during Christmas and feel with happiness instead of the sadness. They feel like, I'm not going home, or nobody loves me, or I'm not going to get nothing for Christmas. And this is what he puts out to let them know, encouraging them and letting them know they are loved.
Very, very exciting. Tanya, how cool is it when you get to hand a kid a suitcase filled with the goods and give them a book like this to help them understand what's
I love being able to tell them who wrote the book.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the kids don't have any clue who DMC is. So I get to explain it.
And then they're like, wow.
And they're like, really?
DMC.
Like, he raps? Like, yeah.
And especially when we get to singing some of the songs like, It's Tricky.
Oh, I know that song.
Walk this way. I know that. Or they'll say, my mom and dad, they listen to that all the time. So it's like.
That is so go. See the smile puts on my face. I can
Yeah.
imagine. DMC, I had that song in my top 10 on my little trio back in the day. That's how far back it was. But I said, I'm going to play you one of the top 10 songs. I got this one right here. It's tricky to rock around, it's right on time. It's tricky. It's tricky. I said, to me, life is tough. Life is lots of hurdles. And he said, yeah, cowboy, that's what that's about, man. And so there it is, and what you get to do that. Well, if there's anything you do, what would you say really sets you apart? Really what you're doing that's kind of unique for these kids that makes it a little bit different, that something you're offering?
One, we allow them to come to the Smile Room and pick out whatever they want. Everything most of the time is handed to them. Here, this is yours. Here, here, here. And sometimes you can see the look on their face like, I don't like this color, or I don't want this. Well, we encourage them to come to the Smile Room with their workers or the family members that may be watching over them, and let them know they get to come here and pick out whatever they want. So when they walk into the Smile Room, that's why it's called that. They are smiling. Like,
Smile
I
Room.
get to pick whatever I want, and they go picking. And we even come when it comes to the essentials. We let them pick that too. There's too many brands out there. The kid may like Hanes better. Let them have it.
Well, here's the website, everybody. And if you'd like to donate, that donate button is right at the top of the page. Check it out. This is mylifeinabagfoundation.org. And just doing amazing things here to impact our little community. Stay tuned, everybody. You're watching the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.